The message arrived without warning. It didn't blink into existence. It didn't distort the satellites. It didn't scramble communications. It simply replaced them. Every screen on Earth, from military command centers to a cracked phone in a Detroit subway, shifted to the same image, a symbol, 3 intersecting rings orbiting a dying star. Then a voice, calm, detached, ancient, species designation, human, planetary designation, Earth, evaluation complete, biological and strategic relevance, negligible, resource inefficiency, extreme, long-term projection, destabilizing, vote concluded, termination scheduled, no threats, no theatrics, just policy. Within minutes, every major power attempted contact. Washington, Beijing, Moscow, Delhi, silence. The signal was one way. Above Earth's orbit, space rippled. Ships emerged not in dramatic hyperspace tears, but in controlled gravitational displacements. Clean, surgical, hundreds of them. Each vessel was the size of Manhattan. They were not metallic. They were grown, dark, curved hulls like obsidian bone. Veins of red bioluminescent energy pulsed across their surfaces. No visible weapons, no visible engines. They didn't need to show power. Power was implied. The United Nations Security Council assembled an emergency session, but panic had already spread. Financial markets froze. Religious leaders called for prayer. Military satellites confirmed the truth. There was no defense capable of matching this. Inside NORAD, General Marcus Hale stood with his hands behind his back, staring at the projection of Earth surrounded by alien vessels. No sweating, no shouting, just calculation. They didn't fire, he said quietly. A young analyst swallowed. Sir, they voted, Hale replied, which means they follow procedure. Procedure meant hierarchy. Hierarchy meant politics. Politics meant vulnerability. 72 minutes after the arrival, a second transmission came, this time directed at global leadership. A structure formed in orbit. One of the ships unfolded like a living cathedral. Organic spires extended outward, forming a ring, an invitation. A shuttle detached from the alien vessel and descended into the Pacific Ocean, hovering above international waters. Coordinates transmitted. One representative. Unarmed. The message was clear. Symbolic compliance. Most governments argued against it. It was a trap, a humiliation ritual before extermination. General Hale volunteered, not because he believed in diplomacy, because he recognized predators. And predators respected one thing: uncertainty. The shuttle that retrieved him was seamless inside. No visible seams. No controls. The walls pulsed faintly like a heartbeat. He was not restrained. That was intentional. The interior opened into a chamber that felt grown rather than built. Curved surfaces. Dim crimson light. The air cool and metallic. Across from him stood the representative of the Galactic Council. Tall, slender, skin like polished stone, eyes black and depthless. No visible mouth moved when it spoke. You are designated speaker for your species? Yes. You understand termination is procedural. Your species introduces long-term volatility within expansion models. Hale tilted his head slightly. Define volatility. Rapid innovation cycles. Unpredictable aggression. Emotional decision-making. Nonlinear adaptation. Hale almost smiled. So you're afraid. Silence. We do not experience fear. You voted to kill us without attempting integration, Hale replied calmly. That's not efficiency. That's preemptive containment. The alien's eyes narrowed slightly. You are statistically disruptive. And you, Hale said softly, are comfortable. A faint pulse flickered across the chamber walls. Hale stepped forward slightly. You've ruled for how long? For 112,000 of your years. No existential threats? None. No peers? None. Hale nodded slowly. That explains it. Explain. You've never been tested. Energy flickered faintly in the air. Hale continued before interruption. You believe exterminating us preserves order. But what if we're not the threat? A pause. What alternative hypothesis do you propose? Hale's voice lowered. What if with immune response? The chamber dimmed. You imply external hostility. I imply, Hale said, that the universe doesn't stay quiet forever. The alien studied him for several long seconds. Provide evidence. Hale looked directly into those abyssal eyes. Cancel the vote. Delay termination. Give us 6 months. For what purpose? To show you why killing us will be the worst strategic mistake in your history. Silence stretched. You request probation. I'm offering insurance. The alien's gaze sharpened. You assume leverage. Hale finally allowed himself the faintest smile. No, he said quietly. I assume you're smart enough to doubt perfection. The chamber went dark, and for the first time in 400,000 years, the Galactic Council reconsidered a vote. The vote was not reversed. It was suspended. For 6 months, Earth would remain untouched. Surveillance would continue. Evaluation ongoing. The Council called it a delay. Humanity called it a deadline. Public panic slowly reshaped into something else. Focus. Every major power formed a unified command under one directive. Demonstrate value. But General Hale had not asked for time to build weapons. He had asked for time to investigate. Because 3 weeks before the alien arrival, something else had happened. A signal. Deep space monitoring arrays in Chile detected it first. Then Alaska. Then orbit. A repeating gravitational anomaly. Not natural. Directional. Moving toward the galactic core. The aliens had not mentioned it, which meant one of two things. They hadn't detected it, or they had, and were hiding it. Hale gained access to classified alien observational data through limited exchange protocols established during probation. He noticed gaps, blind zones in their long-range scans, regions of space considered dead. Human instruments, less advanced but differently designed, picked up faint irregularities in those regions. Tiny inconsistencies, like space wasn't empty, but hollowed. Astrophysicist Dr. Lena Armitage stood before a holographic projection of those regions. They're consuming matter, she said quietly. Black holes, someone asked. She shook her head. Organized. The pattern was expanding and accelerating. When Hale requested a second audience with the council representative, the alien did not refuse. This time the chamber lighting was colder. You requested demonstration. The alien said. Hale gestured. Data projections filled the air. You expanded for 400,000 years without resistance. Correct. You assume you're apex. We are. Hale magnified the expanding anomaly. This is not apex behavior. The alien studied it. Sensor error probability. 12%. Check your blind sectors. Hale replied calmly. A pause. The alien's internal systems connected across unimaginable distances. Seconds passed. Then the chamber lights flickered violently. A pulse of energy surged through the organic walls. Your anomaly is confirmed, the alien said. For the first time, its voice contained something different. Not fear, but uncertainty. It has removed 6 inhabited systems beyond our frontier. Hale folded his arms. And you didn't detect it because you optimized your sensors for known threats. The alien's gaze sharpened. You imply your species anticipated this. No, Hale said. We assume we're never safe. A long silence. You believe your volatility is adaptive. I believe stagnation is fatal. The alien straightened. Council will convene an emergency session. Too slow. Hale replied immediately. The alien's eyes narrowed. You presume authority. I presume survival instinct. Hale stepped closer. You've ruled uncontested for millennia. That makes you strong. But it also makes you predictable. The projections shifted. The expanding anomaly now visibly devoured star systems, leaving gravitational scars. We've been fighting extinction scenarios since we could hold tools. Hale continued. Asteroids, plagues, nuclear war, climate collapse. We don't survive because we're peaceful. He met the alien's gaze directly. We survive because we adapt faster than disaster. The alien processed. You propose alliance. I propose integration. A pause. Terms. Hale's voice remained steady. Cancel termination permanently. Full data exchange. Joint defense initiative. You request equal status. No, Hale said softly. I request shared vulnerability. The chamber pulsed again. Somewhere deep in space, another star system went dark, and for the first time in its existence, the Galactic Council faced something it could not vote away. The anomaly received a designation from humanity, the silence, because wherever it passed, nothing remained. Not debris, not radiation, not even distortion, just absence. The Council mobilized fleets larger than any assembly in their recorded history. Thousands of biomechanical warships formed defensive grids along the projected expansion path. Human observers were integrated into tactical command. The difference in doctrine became immediately clear. Alien strategy prioritized symmetry, perfect formations, layered redundancy, mathematical precision. Human advisors suggested asymmetry, irregular positioning, decoys, mobile strike clusters. The Council resisted at first, until the silence changed direction. It didn't move like a fleet. It moved like hunger. A wave of gravitational collapse surged forward, faster than predicted. 3 Council defense lines vanished in less than 9 minutes. No explosions, just erasure. Panic rippled through alien command networks. Reform defensive shell. Multiple commanders transmitted. Hale shook his head. You can't outwall it. The alien representative turned sharply. Alternative. Bait it. The chamber froze. You propose sacrifice. I propose control. Hale expanded a model. Your fleets cluster around value. Population centers. Resource hubs. The silence follows density. You suggest dispersal. I suggest giving it something irresistible. The alien's eyes darkened. You imply Earth. Yes. Shock waves of alien communication erupted across the network. You would risk your homeworld. Hale's expression did not change. If we're wrong, we die first. Silence fell in the chamber. The alien studied him for a long moment. You gamble extinction. We've done it before. The decision was not unanimous, but it was executed. Earth became the focal point. Alien fleets withdrew from multiple sectors, creating a corridor. The silence adjusted course. It was coming. Every telescope on Earth turned upward. The sky remained calm until stars began disappearing, not exploding, blinking out. Closer, closer. Gravitational sensors screamed. The moon's orbit fluctuated by centimeters. Tidal anomalies surged across oceans. The alien fleets formed a loose, chaotic pattern around Earth, following human tactical models. Not walls, traps. The silence arrived not as a shape, but as distortion. Space bent inward. Light stretched unnaturally. And within the distortion, movement. For the first time, structure was visible. Massive geometric forms shifting within gravitational collapse. Not natural. Engineered. The alien representative transmitted one word. Construct. Hale nodded slowly. Told you. Weapons fired. Alien energy beams tore into the distortion. Human kinetic projectiles followed. For a moment, impact registered. The silence faltered. It reacted. A surge of gravitational force ripped through the defensive net. Hundreds of alien vessels imploded instantly. Earth's atmosphere ignited in streaks as debris burned. Hale gripped the command railing. Phase 2. Human fleets moved, not to attack, but to scatter. They targeted peripheral distortions with erratic strike patterns. The silence shifted focus. It wasn't mindless. It prioritized threats, which meant it could be manipulated. The alien representative stared at the unfolding battle. You were correct. About what? You are not volatility. Hale watched as coordinated chaos redirected the entity away from Earth's densest population centers. You're adaptable, the alien finished. Hale exhaled slowly. No, he said quietly. We're stubborn. The battle was not won, but for the first time, the silence retreated, not destroyed, but diverted, and in its wake, the Galactic Council understood something irreversible. Humanity was not a destabilizing variable. Humanity was the reason the equation survived. The war did not end that day. It evolved. Joint Human Council fleets developed hybrid strategies, precision alien energy control combined with human unpredictability. Months turned into years. The silence adapted. So did humanity. Alien Commander began incorporating emotional modeling into tactical simulations. Human engineers integrated biomechanical materials into starship design. Cultural exchange followed military necessity. But the true shift was philosophical. For 400,000 years, the Council believed survival meant dominance. Humanity demonstrated something different. Survival meant resilience. During a final strategic summit orbiting a rebuilt frontier system, the alien representative faced General Hale once more. Council has reached permanent resolution. Hale raised an eyebrow. About exterminating us? About integrating you. A faint ripple of amusement crossed Hale's expression. Took you long enough. The alien tilted its head. You were correct in initial assessment. Which one? We were comfortable. Hale looked out at the stars, some still scarred by gravitational wounds. Comfort gets civilizations killed. The alien studied him. Your species continues to exhibit risk tolerance beyond rational projection. Hale smiled faintly. Yeah, he said. That's the point. A transmission interrupted them. Long-range sensors detected another silence construct at the galaxy's rim. The alien looked at Hale. Probability of victory? Hale considered. 50%. The alien process. Insufficient. Hale stepped toward the viewport. Better than zero. For a moment, neither spoke. Then the alien extended its hand. An unfamiliar gesture it had learned from humans. Shared vulnerability, it said. Hale clasped it firmly. Shared survival. As fleets mobilized once more, Earth was no longer marked for termination. It was marked as command nexus. The species once labeled negligible had altered galactic doctrine, not through superior firepower, not through intimidation, but through refusal to accept inevitability. And somewhere beyond the edge of map space, the silence encountered something new. Resistance that did not freeze. Resistance that did not collapse. Resistance that adapted. Human, and for the first time since it began consuming stars. The silence hesitated, because extinction is easy against the passive, but against the stubborn, it becomes a war. And humanity had never lost one without learning how to win the next.